I felt like it was awkward and it was uncomfortable. She's asking about her dreams. In that moment, I felt like he dimmed her light and was really telling the whole audience that don't worry about your education and your career. This is what you need to do to go to college. And guess what? Charlie Kirk is not going to be there for you if you are in a not so good or abusive marriage or dysfunctional marriage and you have no education and no career and you are financially strained, and that is the number one thing women look at when they're looking to get out. Is he going to save you then? When life happens, if your spouse, God forbid, goes through an accident or cancer or disability, is he going to save you then when you don't have education or career? And I'm not talking about a formal education. There are AI courses, there's tons of ways you can get an education. But the idea that you should just go back to 1960 and be this one thing when you have all of these opportunities around you is horrible advice for men or women.
I consumed a lot of the content from the summit, and I thought it was a lot more nuanced than that. In the beginning part of the comments, which we didn't get to see in that clip there, he asked the audience who in the crowd wants to prioritize getting married and having a family. And he points out then that one of the ways to do that, if that's your priority, is to find a husband while you're in college, which I think is actually pretty sound advice, right?
You can find like-minded men or women in college. Nobody's disagreeing with that, but it's the fact that this young woman asked you about being a political journalist. So she didn't ask you about how do I, find a man. She asked you about, what advice would you have about political journalism? And who says you can't have a political, journalism career and still have a family?